Where would you like to do that? Here? Yeah? Okay. You can push. We can give them a hand. Can you introduce yourself? Yeah?
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael. I'm just a member. Our leader is there, just giving the music. So, by our names, we're Kisumu Kids Africa Dancers Kenya. We're from Kisumu. This is Isaac Josh, Emmanuel Kim, and Michael Ham. And our trainer and director, Joseph Omondi. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Give them a hand. Thank you. You want one more? Okay, of course.
I just forgot. Hello again. We were selected to go for All Dance Championship that will be held in the United States of America, in Florida, Orlando. Yeah, so we're just requesting for help. We still don't have visas and air ticket, but some of us have passports that are ready. Some didn't go for biometrics, and by next week they will be going for biometrics, and their passports will be ready. Thank you.
No, just stand there. You see, This was not part of my brief, but we are going to do a brief fundraiser here. It's really excellent talent, isn't it? And you know, in Africa, we are a dancing people, and we have to dance beyond hobby. We have to get money in our pockets from the talents that we say we are a dancing people, but this dancing, it has to stop just at entertainment. We have to take it to the next level. So can we try and collect $100? Not too much, 100. If I know your name, I'll call you. Can we make it 100 or more? And mimi nitakufuata. So I'll start with myself. I'll donate the $100. Okay? But we need 400 more. So if I know your name, I will call you. And I'll start with Ken. Ken, we need a donation. We need commitment. You give 30? Thank you. 30. Isaac, take the notes for me. Of course, I'll come to you. Waziri. You'll give 50. Thank you. I have people from my team. They think they will escape. Joyce. 20. Thank you. Where is Stephen? 10. Thank you. Suleiman. Thank you, Prof. 10. Suleiman? No, it can be in Kenya shillings. You know, they are going to America. That's why we are speaking in dollars. Kenya shillings. The only thing we won't take is Uganda shillings. 40? $40? Thank you. Bless you. Thank you. Patience? Sorry for being my panelist today because I know this was not part of the brief. Lakini metupata. Okay. Titus. He's doing his map. Yeah? Okay. All right. Any other volunteers? Orucho. 20. And Isaac? Isaac 50. Why don't I know the names of all of you now? Stephen, you gave me nataka kurudi kwako. But even if I don't know your name, who else would like to volunteer? Yeah? Thank you so much. How much do we have now? Yes, please. $10. Thank you. Any other volunteers? They have a pay bill. They have a pay bill. No, but I know how we're going to do this. Your pay bill. Mimi, I'll photo everyone and make sure everyone gives theirs. Supporting delegations, Kiare? Anonymous, yeah? So I'll talk. Thank you so much. How much do we have, Isaac? Commitment? Ken or Prof? Yes. Ken is 40. 10. Stephen, who are you walking to the front? Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa, karibu sana. You just entered in the middle of a fundraiser. These kids have been selected to go compete in the US and they still don't have airfare. It was not part of our morning session, but we are trying to see how we can support them. So please think about how you could support them. We were just making some pledges, but you just came in, so let me not catch a breath, then I'll follow you. Thank you so much. We wish you all the best. Keep dancing and keep earning. Keep earning. That is really important. Asanteni sana. Okay? Okay. And I need you'll take my number from him, yeah? Okay. All right. You know, we are talking enterprise today. But enterprise comes in all sorts of types, isn't it? Yeah. We hope one day they will have a big company like Homeboys doing events and other things. It starts very early. So welcome to this side event of 2025 Devolution Conference, and this is co-organized between the Chamber, the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the International Organization, International Labor Organization. I'll just quickly mention, most of you probably know the Chamber. You may not know the ILO. The ILO is the UN agency for the world of work. And we develop laws that guide how businesses work. And I was just having a conversation with EABL on how they have used some of those policies that we make. But we also ensure workers are being protected, yeah, so that businesses are not just profiting at the expense of workers. And of course, we work with governments to be able to do that. And we are present in Kenya. I think Kenya was one of the first countries in Africa to join the ILO. I'm going to have Ken join us to make the opening remarks. We've wasted a bit of time, or we've lost time this morning, so we'll not make this very long. Let's try do this within an hour. Are you giving me a message? Yes, that's coming. Yeah. Okay. So I would like to invite Ken to make opening remarks from the chamber, and then we'll play that video as my panel takes to the podium. So Ken. But let me introduce Ken. Ken, you come with me. I need to. So Kenneth Onditi is the national director. Kenneth Onditi, MBS, very important, is the national director for the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Nyanza region. And he has promised that I will get maybe 2 acres of land around here because I'm in love with this part of the country.
Thank you. Chief Technical Advisor of ILO, Caroline Njuki. Sorry for that. Chief Technical Advisor, ILO, Mrs. Caroline Njuki. Deputy Commissioner, KRA, Mrs. Patient Jau. Eric Kiniti, Group Corporation Relations Director, East African Breweries. Hon Farida Salim, CEC Trade Tourism Cooperative and Industry, Kisumu County. Professor Charles Kochola, Vice Chancellor Tom Mboya University. Justus Ewoi, Chairman KNCCI, Turkana Region. Good morning. We are delighted to be here today as partners of ILO, that is Kenya National Chamber of Commerce. I'm ably representing Chamber President, Dr. Eric Ruto. And before I make a speech, I would like to play a video of KNCCI. Is it ready?
In the heart of Kenya's economic journey stands a pillar of opportunity, unity, and enterprise. The Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, KNCCI. Established in 1965, KNCCI is a non-profit autonomous institution dedicated to promoting and protecting the interests of Kenya's private sector. With a national presence across all 47 counties, KNCCI embodies the spirit of collaboration, innovation, and inclusive growth. Its vision, a vibrant and prosperous business community. Its mission, to advocate and promote a sustainable business environment for economic growth and prosperity. Driven by 6 core functions: advocacy, business information services, policy and research analysis, networking, trade promotion, and trade facilitation. KNCCI is the bridge between government and enterprise, policy and productivity. At the core of KNCCI's strategy is the empowerment of micro, small, and medium enterprises, the lifeblood of Kenya's economy. One transformative initiative is the G-Inue Growth Program. Over 31,000 businesses trained, over 26,000 accessed affordable loans. Chamber President Dr. Eric Ruto continues engaging grassroots chambers, listening to local business needs such as access to capital and clearing of pending bills. In Riyadh, over 70 Saudi companies met with KNCCI to discuss agriculture, energy, and real estate investment. An MOU was signed establishing the Kenya-Saudi Business Council. KNCCI submitted formal input to the National Assembly Finance Committee, emphasizing the need for predictable tax regime and presenting the Q4 Business Barometer. At the ARGPO Roundtable, KNCCI Women in Business Director Zainab Mohammed and President Dr. Ruto discussed increasing women's access to public procurement. At the 2025 WCF Africa Summit in Nairobi, themed Africa's Global Future, Integrated, Innovative, Sustainable, it showcased Africa's trade potential. KNCCI hosted an AFCFTA logistics workshop with Kenya Associations of Manufacturers and Trademark Africa to equip SMEs with export strategies. The ISOCO platform is driving MSME digital transformation. KNCCI is more than a chamber. It is a movement, a community, a national enabler for Kenya's private sector. Whether you're a startup founder, a county trader, or a global investor, KNCCI is your advocate, your partner, your platform. Together, we are growing your business. Together, we are growing Kenya.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That is KNCCI. And I can tell you we are devolved in 47 counties, and that is our history. We are very much proud that we are partnering with the ILO. Let me read the speech of Chamber President. It is a great honor to address you today at this important side event convened in a partnership with the KNCCI and the International Labour Organization during the Devolution Conference of 2025. Our theme, inclusive economic growth and access to finance for MSMEs, is timely, urgent, and deeply relevant to our shared national aspirations. At the heart of Kenya's economy are our micro, small, and medium enterprises. They are the backbone of job creation, innovation, and community resilience. And yet, despite their central role, SMEs face a persistent and painful reality: access to finance, remains one of their biggest hurdles. Our KNCCI Business Barometer 2025 revealed that 23.4% of surveyed enterprises identified difficult securing capital as their main barrier to growth and sustainability. Over 32% told us they urgently need more accessible and affordable financial products, credit, loans, and tailored financing solutions. This is not just for finding. The World Bank's 2022 report showed that 18% of Kenyan's firms see access to finance as their biggest obstacle, a stubborn circle that has persisted even after pandemic. SME Tracker survey by the Central Bank, Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, FSD Kenya, paints a sobering picture. 1. Women-owned businesses in operation declined from 74% to 70% between October 2022 and June 2023. 2. Rural enterprises dropped from 72% to 69% in the same period. 3. The main culprits, that is lack of working capital, that is 46%, and reduced customer demand to 24%. Perhaps most telling is this: 59% of closed businesses tried to source capital before shutting down. That number has just jumped from 40% just a month earlier. Yes, there has been a doubling of SMEs with traditional bank or MFI loans from 6% to 16%. But for most, the donors to credit remain too heavy to push open. The government has done some few things which, as partners of the government, KNCCI, we need to let you know. We must acknowledge significant government effort. Number one, Hustler Fund has disbursed over 72 billion to 26 million Kenyans, while loan sizes are often too small. They are often too small to transform a business target. SME products up to 2.5 million are a welcome step forward. The Women Funds Enterprise Fund has since inception provided 27.7 billion Kenya shilling to over 2 million women enterprise, with a bold plan to reach 5 million more by 2027. We have Uwezo Fund has also disbursed to 7.2 billion to over 1.1 million beneficiaries. We have Youth Fund, Enterprise Fund has the channel also 14.7 billion to more than 2 million young Kenyans who are entrepreneurs. Credit Guarantee Scheme, established in 2020, has enabled lending worth 6.1 billion to 4,078 SME. These initiatives are commendable, but for many entrepreneurs, collateral requirements, limited loan sizes, and short period payments and or periods continue to shut them out. What is our commitment at KNCCI? At KNCCI, we are determined to change this reality. Our role is to be the voice, the bridge, and catalyst for SMEs financing. One of our proudest milestones is the GNOA program in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. This program has done three things which are notable and important. Has trained 39,788 entrepreneurs in financial literacy. It has linked 29,977 SME to
Around the world,
financing
growing numbers of
partners. It has also disbursed over 443.6 million shillings to Kenyans young entrepreneurs to date. We also forged a landmark partnership with Equity Bank, which gave 200 billion facility for KNCM members. That is as of June 2025. With the Equity Bank, 48,000 SMEs have reached tailored training through us, and 8,500 members have accessed 8.7 billion in financing, with a strong focus on youth and women. Through our cooperation with the African Guarantee Fund, we are enabling risk-sharing mechanism, technical assistance, and joint initiative that prepare SMEs for digitalization, e-commerce, and sustainable business practices. And we have a call for you. That is at KNCCI. Ladies and gentlemen, inclusive growth will not happen by chance. It will happen by choice. Today, we call upon you for the following: financial institution to innovate around collateral-free and blended financing models that meet SMEs where they are. Number two, county governments to partner with chambers in establishing local credit guarantee schemes. Number three, development of partners. This one is to invest in targeted financing programs for women, youth, and rural entrepreneurs. At KNCCI, we are ready to scale our business academy, launch of our own circle, and use of our national network to connect entrepreneurs with the right financial opportunity. As I conclude, access to finance is not merely about loans. It is about unlocking the potential. It is about a young woman in Turkana. And I'm glad that Turkana chair is already here. Just wait to the crowd. Yeah, it is about a young woman in Turkana turning her tailoring skills into a thriving fashion brand. A farmer in Bungoma, moving from subsistence to agribusiness. A small manufacturer in Thika, breaking into export markets. Let us work together, national government, counties, financial institutions, development partners, and the private sector to ensure that finance is not a privilege for the few, but a tool for the many. Because when SMEs rise, Kenya rise. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. I'll just like to check, of those of us in this room, how many are entrepreneurs? 70%, 80%. You know, it's likely that even those whose hands didn't go up have a small side hustle. Maybe they do cake over the weekend, but they're wondering whether they are an entrepreneur. Yeah? And I know KRA is in the room, and maybe some of us were afraid to put our hands up. They might come, unalipa ushuru. All right? And that's why we are here today. So I'd like to invite the members of the panel. Please, we give them an applause as they come to the front. Kenneth, may I please call you back? Yeah. Then we do have Honorable Farida Salim. She is the CEC Trade, Tourism, Cooperatives, Industry Marketing, Kisumu County. Karibu sana. We have Ms. Patience Njau, Deputy Commissioner, Taxpayers Experience Division of the Kenya Revenue Authority. Karibu sana. Mr. Eric Kiniti, who I actually called Titus when I was fundraising. It just hit me. Sorry about that, Eric. He is a Group Corporate Relations Director at the East African Breweries Limited. We have Professor Charles Kochola, Vice Chancellor, Tomboya University. And last but not least, we have Mr. Justice Ewoy. We work very closely, and he represents the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Turkana County. We're going to have a very, very exciting conversation. And I'll start. Ken, we've heard from you. Yes. Okay, so I'll start with CC Madam Farida Salim. And allow me to call you Farida, because we've had such a wonderful conversation. I feel like you're the sister I didn't know existed. Farida, could you please speak to us about how Kisumu is integrating business development services into county MSME support programs? Do you have a mic? I think there is one. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. As you've been ably told, my name is Farida Salim, the County Minister in charge of Trade, Tourism, Cooperatives, Industry and Marketing, Kisumu County. I'm happy to be here, and I want to appreciate Chamber of Commerce for having extended this invitation. The economy for Kisumu is largely MSME driven. These days we don't talk about SME, we talk about MSME so that we leave no one behind. And you know, the micro category are the majority. As a government, first of all, we don't do business as a government, but we endeavor to give a conducive business environment for MSMEs to operate in a dignified way. And we also ensure that we are moving away from the informal businesses that we have had for a while. By that I mean we are formalizing the informality. We are also keen to address the cost of doing business, so that ease of doing business for our MSMEs should be seamless, so that our people do not have the many bottlenecks that we have found in the system. There are quite a number of programs that we are undertaking, but of utmost importance, which I would like to share with everybody inside here, is a concept called Entrepreneurship Clinic. Entrepreneurship Clinic was born out of, listening to the people, hearing what they have to say about the experiences, about the challenges that they are faced with, and come up with a platform where we are now no longer relying on myths. We are relying on accurate information being provided by the experts. So as a department, as a county, we provide that platform, and we bring on board the experts to engage our entrepreneurs so that they can get accurate information, and the experts can also listen and get, first-hand experiences and challenges that our entrepreneurs are faced with. It's amazing, it's doing well, and we realize there is a lot of myth surrounding matters, compliance, for example. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Farida. And now that you've introduced that, Kenneth, are you ready for me? Okay, good. And from your, as the chamber, from your engagement across the country, what do you see as some of the barriers that are hindering SME growth? Maybe you could just reflect on 4-5.
Thank you. Before I embark on that, let me say that Chamber, we are non-profit making organization, and we are member-based organization. Mostly we deal with those SMEs around the country. We have 47 chapters in Kenya. And these 47 chapters, we have our board of directors, we have our chairman and the vice chair, and we have our members. So we are widespread in the country, and we have a lot of information about SME because of our network. And there are a lot of things which hinder our SMEs to get financing, which is some of them are quite obvious. When we go around, talk to them, survey their business, we see what they are doing. We have high interest rates. High interest rate from the commercial banks are hindering SMEs. We have micro, we have small, and we have medium SMEs. So the micro down there is suffering together even with the small and medium because of the high interest rate. Most probably they are competing, the people who are established are competing for a tender. The profit which you get is between 10 to 15%. And when you go to the bank, that is the interest they charge you also, 10%, 13% and above. So high interest rate is making SME to come down. Most of our SME lack good bookkeeping. And that is why we are there as a chamber, because they start business, they don't know how to separate the working capital, the profit, and they mix it up. So you find that lack of good bookkeeping, and also you see SMEs also, for you to be helped by any other financial institution, you must have established properly, have probably even a property and all that. So the lack of collateral is also an hindrance. But at KNCI, we are doing a lot, and which as we go discussing, we are going to tell you what we do.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kenneth. I would like now to move to KRA and Patience. Many SMEs, of course, cite tax compliance as a challenge for them. Could you please speak to us about how KRA is simplifying this for businesses? And while at it, maybe also mention some of the incentives that exist to support SMEs to formalize and remain tax compliant.
Okay, am I audible? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you hear from the back?
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good, and thank you very much, our moderator. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Council of Governors and definitely Kenya Chamber and ILO for inviting KRA to be on this platform. It's really a pleasure for us to be here, and of course the county government of Homa Bay for hosting us in the county of endless opportunities where we are anticipating a lot of growth. So I think let me first start by saying that MSMEs, like has been rightfully stated by my co-panelist, CEC, are at the heartbeat of our economy, and they are really a key focus for us. And as KRA, we are working hard, number one, to create and build trust. Because for us to be able to support MSMEs, there must be trust between the government in KRA and the business fraternity. And we are trying to do this first by making ourselves available. So we are talking now of co-creation. The solutions that we want to create and put out there to support businesses are solutions that we are looking to co-create with businesses. So to do that, we are also working on partnerships. So partnerships with chamber, partnerships with the county governments, partnerships with business associations that will help us get your feedback. In terms of the things that we've put in place to make sure that we support businesses, we are now talking of simplification. So with simplification, we now have the e-teams. E-teams, and the director has mentioned it, that most businesses do not have records. And e-teams is the government coming to businesses and telling them, this is a business tool. Because on e-teams, you can be able to have your inventory, you're able to have your receipts, you're able to have your invoices. So with e-teams tool, you have your entire business in that platform. Possibly what remains out of the conversations we've had in this room this morning, I'm thinking what will be my take home is for us to go and have an enhancement on e-teams that can possibly allow it to be validated by a financial institution from what he has said, so that then we have something that serves the entire ecosystem. So that as KRA, we are not telling business owners, take up e-teams, and they're wondering, what is this all about? What is in it for me? But we are telling also banks, when you get somebody and they present to you your e-teams, this is a QR code, just scan it, and you can be able to look at the weekly statement or the monthly statement or quarterly statements of a business trader. And with that, you can be able to rate their financial viability for support. So we are looking at building those tools. We're also looking at having platforms such as the simplified payroll solutions. Again, this will serve businesses that don't have so many employees. All these platforms are also available on the eCitizen portal. For e-teams, we have the simplified e-teams that you can get on star the 222 hash, which allows you to be able to do your invoicing and to use e-teams. So we are actually looking forward to working with businesses and supporting them to a point where they feel supported by KRA, because the government, as I conclude, through KRA, has employed accountants, business lawyers, corporate law experts. All these people are there at your service. And in our tax service stations, we are offering these services to you. With the collaborations with the counties, we are looking forward to bring those clinics where whatever auditing things you need, whether it's returns filing, whether it's bookkeeping, we are looking forward to supporting you with that. And we are looking to demystify the perception that has been there of KRA being inaccessible to being a more accessible government institution that is out there with our traders. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Patience. And I'm looking at Chair Turkana, because one of the feedback that we get from businesses is that solutions for businesses are often out of reach for many of these, especially the micro and small. And you're telling us that you don't have to buy expensive solutions. There are some solutions that make you visible to financing partners, amongst other benefits. But I like what you said on engagement with the financial service providers, because they must also be willing to leverage on those services that are provided, that businesses don't have to put extra resources into to unlock credit. So maybe that is something that we can pilot in Turkana. We will come to that just as. Let me move to Eric. Eric, from a corporate perspective, I'll take that back. Of course, if you speak to many businesses, many of them say, I would want to be a supplier to EABL. I would want to be a supplier to, the other large or multinational. Yeah, but it doesn't happen overnight. There is a lot of facilitation that is required. And so maybe even the entrepreneurs who are here, they're looking at you and thinking, maybe this is my opportunity to start growing sorghum or barley or other things. Yeah. So from a corporate perspective, what is hindering MSMEs from integrating into large supply chains, and how can these be overcome, both from a policy and system approach?
Thank you for the question, and thank you to the chamber again for having us here in ILO. I think I'll go straight into what is hindering SMEs, and I think one is just belief. People think that to do business with a big corporate, you need to, know people or or do things that are not correct. But I think one of the things that we say is that as a business, we are keen on growing small businesses because we believe those are the engines for growth, and those are the engines that can be able to help us even propel ourselves in terms of driving exports, which is, I think, is a focus area that we should be looking at as a country. At EABL, one of the things that we do, because you're quite an integrated business in terms from farmers to getting the drinks that you consume on the table, you work a lot with many SMEs. With farmers, we're working around with around 47,000 farmers, majority of whom are small scale, who with SMEs as well. And what we've done is just to make it very simple for them to understand what do we want from a farmer and what can we do and what is the role of the farmer. So one of the things that we do is to develop seed. So we invest a lot in research on seed because we want to give you seed that can grow well based on your ecological zone. The seed that can do well in Western Kenya might not do well in Eastern because of the different ecological factors. And the other thing that we provide is a ready market. So before you even plant, you already know at the point of delivering the crop to us, what is that price that you have. And we are actually now going publicly to advertise in the newspapers, saying we want expression of interest. If you're interested in farming with us, download this form, give us the details, and then we'll come and assess the viability for your farm to grow. Because for us, it's also very good for us that you are sustainable, that you don't do crop with us one season, the next season you're not there. So we would want you to be able to do that. The other thing is ensuring that you are compliant with the regulations and laws, whether it's county regulations, whether it's national government regulations, whether it's KRA. We require that you participate and we work actually closely with the county governments in ensuring that farmers understand what their contracts mean and what they need to be able to do. On the other supply aspects, I think because we do a lot of events, for example, we're also looking at partnering with SMEs in that space because we feel that you cannot have one big agency working across the country. So what we do is that we try and find out who is good at what. And our criteria is very clear in terms of what we want to deliver, whether it's an activation event, whether it's a branding opportunity, in terms of the quality that you're looking for. And we've partnered with a lot of these suppliers. We have a standard that we work with, the partner with suppliers standard, where, again, basic things like human rights, you need to treat your employees well. If you're not paying them on time, that's an issue. And we'll actually knock you off because of such issues, because those issues, the person who is delivering the service, seeing they are doing work for East African breweries, and if they're not adhering to human rights issues, for example, that becomes an issue that's going to be a bad reputation for us. So just ensure that you understand what's required. We are actively looking for women-owned businesses at the moment. So we want to grow that contribution to about 30% of our suppliers. And we have worked with some of them who might not have met the requirements, but we show them the journey of what they need to do for them to be able to be compliant. And that actually helps them in terms of growth. And we also link them up with other corporates that we work with in terms of opportunities. So I think it's also trying to find what is your unique business that you want to provide, what service you provide that's unique, coming to us and working with the procurement team in terms of how can we develop you to become a supplier and supporting you, even with the financial institutions, because we have invoice discounting, we have a good relationship with a number of banks that we can work with, and you can have invoice discounting because financing is a big challenge. How do we ensure that you're paid early so that you can be able to continue supplying us with the goods and services that you may require?
Thank you so much. And just a quick couple of reflections that you've spoken to, Eric. One of them is compliance with both regulation at the county and national level. I would like you to just spend maybe a further 1 minute to speak to how that looks like. And two, absolutely, we have to let's think about why we are supporting businesses. We support businesses so that there is growth. And as growth happens, you know what happens? Employment opportunities are created. So let's always make that link. And Eric, you spoke to, for instance, checking that your suppliers pay their workers on time. Because as Kenneth was speaking, he spoke about payment of arrears. Is it, pending bills, money owed to businesses, okay? So the same way businesses say, hey, our bills have not been paid, we supplied, it's been a couple of months, these are also families that are relying on the labor that is provided. So let's also always, when we talk about human rights and businesses, people think it's something that's up in the air. It's as simple as, how are you paying people? Is it on time? Is it fair? In what conditions are they working? So it's also demystifying what business and human rights looks like. But if you could just speak to what that compliance looks like from an EABL perspective.
I think for us, compliance is in a number of ways. So there's adhering to the laws and regulations, but I think it's also policies, because we would want the policies that we've undertaken as a business, we would want those policies to be followed by other partners that we work with. So whether it's our distributors in terms of how they deal with people, how they work with people, each small issue like disciplinary, how do you deal with a disciplinary case in your work environment? And what we do is train them. So we do training for especially our distributors who are extension of our services. We also do training for skills, to build skills among the stakeholders. I think a big component that we don't talk about often is illicit being a big problem in our industry. And in terms of how we are trying to work with county governments who do licensing and seeing how do we recruit the people who are selling illicit to come into the formal sector. And one of the conversations we are trying to have with counties is, can you give them a moratorium of not having to pay licenses, maybe for the first year, the liquor license, for example, so that they can come into the formal space and sell formal alcohol. And you don't get these issues of them selling harmful products that are bad for the consumers. And that way you are dealing with two issues. You're dealing with a public health issue. You're dealing with an issue of tax evasion, because when they're selling that illicit, they're not paying taxes. So how do you drive them to a compliance journey where they also start understanding a P&L, that actually the monies you pay to avoid arrest is actually a cost to your business. But if you're legitimate, you'll avoid that cost. And you become now formalized. And now you can access things like funding, because like one of the panelists here was saying, how do you attract funding from a bank if you don't know what you're doing? You have no formally documents that you can actually access to be able to know how much do you need, what's your appetite, what's your credit history. And if you don't do that, I think that becomes a problem. So I think that's one of the compliance aspects that we see, which could be very valuable in terms of moving people from doing illicit business to doing a legitimate business, seeing the value of that, complying with the rules and regulation, and also being having dignity in terms of providing jobs and generating incomes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eric. And, when you look at how businesses grow, businesses and products, is also innovation, right? And we have you see a lot of fairs where people go and exhibit something that they have developed. We call it innovation. And of course, there are those who go and develop it, fully test it, develop it, launch. We should not forget our own M-Pesa. It was once an idea with someone on their laptop. And is it a unicorn by the way? Is M-Pesa? It is a unicorn, yeah? I think it's a unicorn by now. If it's not, we should lobby to for it to be recognized as a unicorn. And where am I going with this? It is the role of research. And Prof, you're here with us this morning. And from where you sit, Prof, how is it that how can universities contribute to unlocking challenges faced by MSMEs, from an innovation point of view, skilling, market readiness, and maybe you could also speak to us with some examples. I can share this with you.
Yeah. Good morning. Thank you, ILO. Thank you, KNCCI. We are partners with KNCCI as a university. I want to start from the point of Tom Mboya University, because I think that's where I would authoritatively talk about what we are doing and what university can be interlinked. Tom Mboya University, just like any other institution globally, has their vision and mission, and majorly it's training, research, and outreach. But always universities have been assumed in the global south that they are not centers where research and innovation takes place. Fortunately or unfortunately, research and innovation in the global south, whether from the business perspective and the big companies perspective, they would rather engage a consultant from wherever they are to do research in some corner and not institutionalize that particular person in the legal framework of where research and innovation should take place. A classic cases is when you go to the so-called developed societies where we yearn to go to, all of us, in most cases, unfortunately, you realize that companies go to universities and tell them, this is what we want. This is what we see should happen. How does it happen? Or can you make it happen for us? And they partner and support one another for that particular research, for example. Unfortunately, you'll find that I'm yet to know which university in this country majorly is partnering with industry to come up with an innovation or do research for them so that they can use those products to enhance their productivity. As an institution which is located in this county, our vision and mission is very huge, just like any other institution. However, we've decided specifically to have a call, a motto that we are saying we have knowledge for sustainable innovation enterprises. What do I mean by this? I want to give you a very interesting example. Several times I've opened the doors of the university for training for MSMEs. And the latest one was hosted by the Tourist Fund and the Tourist Board. And they wanted to train small businesses in the kiosk and hotel industry. They gave a space of 100 participants. And as a university, I told them, what I will do for you, I will give you training space free as my contribution. But you will make sure that when these people are being trained for half a day or one day, make sure that they are happy, they have water, they have snack, they have food, they are 10 o'clock. Do you know what? Out of 100 spaces they gave, they had for 2 days 15 people. The only reason was that, are they paying people? I can't close my business so that I go and listen. And I'm not making money. We had cooked for 100 people. They had bought food for 100 people. But for the 2 days, only 15 people came. Kenya Tourist Board decided to organize training for Boda Boda so that they can be part of their network. The first day, unfortunately, we also gave them space to come and train them. That's the day our grandmother was being buried. They said, no, we are going to meet politicians who are going to come to the funeral. They abandoned them and went away with their motorbikes to go and meet people who can untie them as they come to the funeral of Ibiasi. Because to them, there is no money being given there. There is no cash being given there. There is no product that they can consume. What am I saying? What is the role of the university in this particular respect? To us, we want to train. And our role, and I've said as Tom Mboya University, we would wish to create space for research, for training as partners so that people can come continuously so that they are trained. Because that space is lacking, that opportunity is lacking. As a university, we have developed programs both from certificate to degree level so that we are able to give each and everybody opportunity to have knowledge to do business. We have hosted the Fisher Fox, the women, in partnership with the women rep of Homa Bay, where I gave my faculty free to train them in business-related aspects of bookkeeping, how they can do their businesses in Homa Bay. And we want to do that in all the sub-counties in Homa Bay County. To me, I think that is important as the role of university in empowering the business community to have the knowledge and the skills so that they can do their business as well. When they come, I want to tell you, I also raise their ego by saying, when you come, we give you a proficiency certificate so that you can say, I graduated from a university. That, is also giving people the ego to appreciate that even me, I can go and train in the university, because I tell you, that ego is important. Massaging an ego of any human being, even me, it's important in moving forward positively in achieving the businesses that can be. With Chamber and ILO, this is the only country where people think workers and unions and unionism is for anybody and everybody. And therefore, you find unions, even in fact, to be a best union leader to fight for the workers in the small organization, big, you don't need to go to school. You only need to be somebody who will say, that is wrong. Do you agree that is wrong? Yes, we are going this direction, or we are withdrawing. So we have started a program on employment and labor studies at all levels so that we can help our people understand that as a worker, you have a right, you have a privilege, but you also have to meet the consequences of your action if that is going to affect the businesses you are working in. So we are in a position as a university, and I want to invite all of you that Tom Mboya is willing and ready to partner for the purposes of research, and we are willing to partner for the purposes of empowering our people, and we are willing also to use our little resources that we have to support activities of SMEs in terms of training, in terms of exposure, in terms of anything that they think is important for doing their businesses. In fact, one of the things that keep on coming to me, and I think the tax lady should listen, they come to me, even suppliers. Some of them want to supply, but they don't want to have the e-tax because they say, you must buy your gadget. And I tell them, no, you don't need to buy your gadget. That information is not with the small SMEs. They think you buy that your gadget, every time you get a supply from Tom Mboya, you have yours. And they say, no, I may not have a business again, so why should I budget? Why can't you just pay me this money? Then I tell them, no, I can't. Go and go through the tax. Currently, we are patching on the EGP, and institutions are being patched. If you go to the portal, which I monitor every day, less than 3,000 Kenyans suppliers have patched to do business nationally. That means SMEs are going to die if they don't patch up. And they don't patch up because of two things. One, for people who are avoiding tax or evading tax, they don't want to be known that they were doing business. So are you going to help them to draw a line and say, oh, the past has gone, we want to deal with you going forward? Because that's the best way to do administration. You don't go into an office and go back and say, I want to deal, you are a rare mirror person. You will not, if you are given 2 years, by the time you are sorting the rare mirror issues, your 2 years are gone. So how do you deal with SMEs in terms of, if they were evading taxes and now they have their businesses, they must bring all the documents to be registered. And you will find that they have been operating for the last 10 years and they were evading tax, and they are scared now that if I come here, these people are going to find me and deal with me. So what are you going to do? Because this is the backbone. And the university is willing and ready to give you opportunity for Homa Bay County to come and train the SMEs in tax regime, because that is our role, teaching. Then we are also ready to partner with these companies in research, which are guided by also their interests, so that we are able to support this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. And really, I was indulgent because oftentimes we don't really hear from the research side. So thank you really for those insights. And just as we work closely with you in Turkana, and our entry point was something very specific, is refugees, because Turkana is home to both, of course, the Turkana people, but also sizable refugee population and entrepreneurs. And how is the chamber supporting refugee-led businesses to be sustainable and market ready.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Caroline. What I understand, Turkana is home for everyone. And we have accommodated refugees for over 30 years. And to me personally, because I was among the people who ushered the first refugees in Turkana, because at that time I was with the UNHCR. And what I have, as the chamber, we have really played a very key role when we partnered with the ILO, specifically on Prospect Project program. And what we have done integration of putting our office, a sub office in Kakuma to actually support them fully, because they had a lot of issues in terms of documentation. And also, when you talk about documentations, that is ID, which actually gave access to documentation for all documents they want in terms of businesses. I've tried to move across to DRS and also to the ID's CEO, if they can actually be issued with ID that doesn't expire, the ID number doesn't expire, because most of them have lost their opportunities and also businesses when they are using someone's a Kenyan ID to partner with them, and then again they are getting a lot of problems when you talk about KRA, because the PIN is different and the business owned by a refugee. You find now they are being penalized with a lot of taxation, and because they have no anything to do, they go along with that kind of problem. So as the chamber, we strike a deal with the DRS and the ID's CEO, which now they are getting IDs with no expiry ID number, which they can be able to own their properties without any problem. Also, they can actually have other documentations like the PIN and other documentation that actually will allow them to have that good environment in businesses. So that is what the chamber have really pushed, because I saw it was a major problem for them actually to be integrated in business environment. Also, we have trained the host and the refugees. We have actually done some forums which actually will feel the Sudanese or the refugees will feel they are part parcel of Turkana and they are part parcel of Kenyans. So in terms of business development services, that is the program, the trainings and other things like that, which they have really now honed that environment as part of the Kenyans. So they have not that kind of discouragement again or being isolated. So we have brought them with their feeling now they are part of the Kenyans, and they are working together with Kenyans in terms of forums, in terms of financial inclusions, trainings, and we have really pushed even the travel documents. They can now travel to any part of the country to get their products without any that kind of police harassment and other things like that. So we are monitoring them closely as the chamber to make them, they are part of us. And also in terms of membership, we have included them in terms of membership. Turkana has 6,500 members and the refugees are 2,500. So that is a very great thing that we have done as the Chamber of Turkana to make sure the refugees are not left behind. And also in terms of advocacy, we have done more advocacy on that inclusion of the refugees in terms of county governments on licensings to make sure they are also licensed like other Kenyans. They are paying taxes like other Kenyans so that they cannot be harassed, because police used to harass them. They cannot open their businesses. They were given some times, which I talked to the county commissioner personally, and also the county commander to allow them also to operate like other Kenyans. So they have that access now. which is I see as the chamber we have done great to them, and we are trying to push because we have other problems which they are still coming up, which we need also to sort as the chamber to support them to make sure they have a good environment in actually business facilitation. Also, we have in terms of market linkages, we have also done to them where an Eldoret chamber or Wasingishi chamber through Ikomoko, we actually tried to pursue them to come and also do business, a trade forum with them, which they brought a lot of goods so that they can actually link in terms of businesses. And also we have created a platform where they can also access the market, which actually we are supported by ILO, which is a good thing that now we have Turkana Biashara platform, which they are using also to integrate with other communities within Kenya on business networks and business support linkages. And also in our programs or SP plan, we have incorporated Turkana CIDP and also the government development agendas, so that they can also be part of it, because now they are moving from humanitarian aid to development. So we don't want to leave them behind. They should be part of us on terms of development in Turkana, which they are being supported by His Excellency, our governor for Turkana, Jerebel Omurkai, because he actually was part of the inauguration that we did with ILO in terms of supporting all locals and the refugees in Turkana and across the borders. Asante sana.
So thank you. I know my panelists have another set of questions that I was going to pose to them, but I would like us to spare some time to just, we have received a lot of information, and it's not a lecture. There must be questions that are burning. So I'd like to spend a couple of minutes to just take a few questions, and that I'm sure most of those questions are aligned with some of the questions that I would have posed to you anyway. So let's see, a couple of questions. We'll take like 5 at a go, have the panel respond. So let's see our roving mic. Stephen, do we have, or the sound crew? Where are the mics? But let's listen to instruction. It is question. Yeah, not, in 2020. No. Question, so that we can have as many people pose them. Yeah? And if you could also indicate whom you would like to answer the question, that would be helpful.
Yes, I'll give it.
So, we can just start here. Let's start with the lady at the front. Please tell us your name as well.
Good morning, all. My name is Mary Oyer. I'm an entrepreneur based in Mombasa. I'm a member of KNCCI Mombasa and CAM or wherever. Mine first, I just want to, the tomboya, I didn't get his name. I want to concur with him on what he says. Kenyans, we are losing opportunities because of, we normally ask how much is there in weight. If there's nothing, then we are denying our movements. We are closing doors. But my question goes to Eric. Breweries. First, congratulations for the women empowerment. Your presentation was very, very good. You are giving women room. But now I'm coming in as a person, because I believe Jesus say you speak it out and you'll be heard, yeah? I'm a member and the chair of SDN Kenya, the nutrition chapter of the World Food Program. And I did an abstract which was floated with World Food Program, WFP, yeah, through FAO. And I won. My abstract is a winning abstract, which is going to be floated in the agroecology in Malmo, Sweden, Europe. They fine-tuned my submission up to the whatever, but I'm not able to go in person because they're not supporting my airfare, but they are supporting me with giving me all what donors to come and adapt and be part of the whatever. I'm running out of time, and I was asking, because I know the setup of this institution is only breweries that I can see an escape route. Do you do CSR? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm Rose Atieno Uso. I'm from KNCCI, Homa Bay chapter, the vice chairperson. My question goes to Ken Onditi, regional director, and Waziri Trade. There is this issue which is hindering businesses, multiple licenses. And this is an area which is an outcry in our businesses, and even it hinders the both local and international investors. Is there any way the government and county government can have a one-stop licensing, which can help our businesses to get away of the frustrations and embarrassment which is leading to most of the businesses being closed? Thank you.
3 more, and that's it. So we can go to, oh, he has the mic already.
Thank you. Thank you, panelists. And I would want to, I'm Samuel Lieta, MCA for West Karachuonyo in Homa Bay County. And fairly, from my area, I represent the sorghum growers. And that my question will go to Eric, I believe. I wanted to ask, Homa Bay is actually fertile in growing sorghum and is one of your major suppliers. But you have actually been insisting on one type of sorghum, which is white sorghum, which is prone to pests, which are birds that actually eat it up even before farmers actually reach maturity so that they bring it to you. Are there any other types of sorghum that you can actually recommend, like the fairly dark brown sorghum? I don't know what they call it, but in local language, I know what they call it. And what acreage do you encourage even the small farmers so that they can also grow this sorghum and bring to you? So that is 1. 2, I'd like to commend actually KRA for having worked over the years so that you are available to businesses, people, and the general public. But I want to ask you one thing. Sometimes traders fail to actually declare purchases based on fact that maybe a supplier has applied using TOT and the buyer is using VAT. So the receipt that has been given to you cannot be claimed under VAT. Is there a way you can actually merge this so that the buyer is able to utilize the TOT receipt because it's actually a purchase? The third question.
Samuel, we'll have to stop it there so that we can be able to get another round of questions. Is that enough?
Fairly brief,
okay.
But this now goes to Chambers. Just allow me one. We fairly realize that you are doing business, you're helping businesses to grow. But there are other organizations that are also helping businesses actually to get capital. And one of them is table banking, which is actually done in the villages. I would want to ask you so that you may move as Chambers together with the universities so that you may train the officials of Chambers so that they know how to reduce the cost of getting loans from table banking that is cheaper to enable them do business fairly without paying high interest rate. Thank you.
Asante. 2 more, and then we have to close. I have to come to this side. There is a lady in green. You know I'm the...
Good morning. My name is Dr. Harriet Owino. I'm owner and founder of Zabani Botanicals, which is a herbal line. So my question is to the Vice Chancellor of Tomboya University. What opportunities do you have for agribusiness trainings, and how are you collaborating with other people who are not in Nyanza?
Thank you. Brief to the point. And the last one, I'll give it to the I saw your hand a long time ago. So the lady and then to the front.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. So my name is Anne Abonyo, and I work for CAB Kenya, which is a local NGO operating in Kenya. But for this time around for Migori County where I work. Now we have been able to, one of our programs is to economically empower young women to be able to have economic assets, to reduce the incidence of HIV infection in the region. So we have been able to capacity build several young adolescent girls who are very vulnerable within the communities, who with literacy skills, entrepreneurship skills, support them to form village learning and savings, and have been able to establish small businesses where they can be able to get resources to support their immediate needs. So my question is for the Chamber of Commerce, because you said 47 counties you are represented. So I want to know the plans that you have currently to ensure that these groups that we have supported to establish and start businesses are able to continue and even expand more with the current situation of donor funding, especially for USAID. That is one. Then two. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so for much. Obliging. Let's go to the front. Thank you.
Moderator, I request you allow a bit more latitude so we can engage better. That's why we're here today. I've got 3 questions to Ken. Number 1, what is the interface between your 47 chapters, and the county governments? I'm the CCM for Trade and Industry in Machakos County. Unfortunately, I'm not filling the chamber, and that's very sad. Yet we should be very, strong partners. I have a better rapport with CAM, Ken Invest, and EPZA, but I don't quite feel the chamber. We need to work on that relationship. Number 2, in terms of innovation, tech and digital, I want to hear from you, not really from the university, and good work you're doing, university. What is your strategy nationwide in terms of helping, the MSMEs? The third question is the interface between you and industry. If we speak about MSMEs without talking to industries, then we miss an opportunity of vertical supply chain engagements. Kindly speak to that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we started late. That's why.
Conducive to formal business activities. Through measures such as easing the registration process, incentivizing formalization, and helping entrepreneurs to access new opportunities, we support businesses to grow and countries to bring about change. However, formalization can't happen overnight. It takes time and requires a gradual and integrated approach. Enterprises are at different stages in their life cycle. This requires tailored approaches to adapt to their capabilities and priorities. Some may need help to improve their management skills and seize new business opportunities, whereas others might need help to register and meet legal requirements. Some businesses might even need stricter enforcement of the law. Dialogue between a wide range of actors is crucial to ensure inclusiveness. Achieving this transformation is essential to develop the private sector, create more and better jobs, widen the tax base, and improve public services, which is a win-win for society. We can all do our part to achieve this change, and it starts with learning more about how it can be done. Visit our website or get in touch with us today to share ideas and information on enterprise formalization.
Thank you, and thank you.
Small enterprises create many jobs and are important for economic development and the well-being of people.
All right, thank you so much. So let's take two minutes really to just reflect on. I hope everyone captured their questions. I don't have to read the questions again, and maybe we start with Patience. Yeah, just that way. But my timer will be on for 2 minutes.
Maybe you may have to give me a bit more than 2 minutes, but I will try. And also allow me to just comment on what the panelist had said. I think there was the first comment from that I picked from the university on the e-teams and people not having that awareness. And it's actually unfortunate that the information asymmetry is so high because what is actually correct and accurate is not available to the public. And what they have access to is what is, the most incorrect statement. So I think part of what we are endeavoring to do is a lot of tax clinics and tax education. So we'll be happy if you invite us to come and whichever audience you're having, and actually for any business here in the room, if we are going to take your 16% or even 5%, we effectively become a major shareholder in that business. So any business conversation, just reach out to us. We will come and give the correct position and how it actually works. And I think as a
Check.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I've said that we'll be happy to have those conversations. And as I talk about e-teams, Hesh here, the MCA from Karachuonyo had asked something around suppliers not being able to have receipts, or they have receipts from what we call different regimes. So the TOT is a different taxation regime, and then VAT is a different taxation regime. But today we have e-teams as the single platform. So whether you're on the TOT, which is a tax regime or a tax head, or you're on VAT, which is a different tax head, or you're on excise, whatever receipting that any business is doing today, the actual official receipt should be an e-teams receipt. And that's why we have e-teams available on multiple channels, multiple platforms, and you don't need to have a gadget. So again, the information asymmetry makes people think that you must have a gadget. No, you do not need to have that gadget. There was the comment on the from Turkana Chamber on the refugees. We have something that we have been working on for those who we give what we call alien pins, so that we're able to give them the alien business pins. Again, part of the challenges of being government is that change takes a little bit of time, but we are really keen on having those alien pins. We are working with border communities, cross-border business organizations, where we have a lot of people who are coming in who are not necessarily Kenyans, but they are trading. So we have those pins that would be available to your 2,000 or so members. And we will come and register them on site. Again, we are working towards going and meeting you at your place. You don't have to come and look for us. So we would have an engagement and agree where and when. Alongside that, we will have a further discussion with ILO so that we look at the business categories and classifications. If today you go on iTax, we have a category called others. And others today carries everybody else rather than everyone. So in my tax register, I have about 15 million of informal businesses who are registered PIN holders, who have individual business PINs. Of the 15 million, we have 12 million who are in a category called others. So who are these others, So that is a conversation that we must have so that we're also able to categorize businesses better and have better visibility of exactly what businesses are we talking about. And only then will we be able to serve them from a sector-specific perspective. There was the other question that was asked, I think, on, I think I've answered all of them then. Yeah, I think I've commented on all the questions that have been asked. But let me also just say, as I conclude this part, that compliance is primarily a growth enabler. If we are able to appreciate that KRA is looking to help businesses be compliant, KRA is looking to give businesses tools to allow that compliance, then we'll well be on our way on having the growth and economic development that we so much need as a country. Thank you.
Oh. I think we should adopt that slogan somewhere. Compliance. Do we have it somewhere? Maybe we should chamber, in our formalization efforts, we speak of compliance as a growth. It's not just this, it's not a stick. It is the carrot that enables your, we need to find how to make that slogan bigger. Sorry. I didn't eat into your time, Waziri, so please go ahead.
And I'll also add another slogan: quality is not luxury. It is a passport to bigger things. So compliance and quality go hand in hand. Thank you, Madam, also for the concern that you raised about multiple licensing. As we are all aware, Parliament enacted a law on county licensing. Actually, it's called County Licensing Uniform Procedures Act, which was assented to by the President on the 28th of June 2024. The aim of this license law is to standardize and harmonize the licensing procedures across all the 47 counties. And it is informed by that challenge that you talked about, that also hindered inter-county trade, because it cuts across. You know, initially it was very difficult for entrepreneurs to do inter-county trade. And so that law has come into existence to improve the ease of doing business in different counties. It will also reduce the inconsistencies that have been there. And then ultimately, it aims to promote a more predictable business environment. I do not know, just by a show of hand, how many people have interacted with that law. If we are truly entrepreneurs, that is the latest law that you need to work with like your Bible. How many? Madam Moderator, I need your attention, Madam Moderator. You can see. So Chamber of Commerce and also all our other partners, we really need to educate our people on this law because it's going to be enforced. It is good for the business, the growth of business, but many people do not know about the law. A lot of stakeholder engagements are being conducted. I have managed to attend several that have been organized by the State Department for Trade, Investments and Industry. It is a law that is meant to ease the cost of doing business while addressing all those challenges, including the one-stop licensing that we are talking about. Please, ignorance is no defense. Let us look for that law. Let us interact with it, and let us compel our county governments to enforce it, because it has addressed quite a number of barriers that existed before as far as licensing is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I'll address Madam Mary's question on the sponsorship. Unfortunately, we only cover environment, water, and skills, which we support. So under CSR, so the request that you have would fall outside that realm, and so unfortunately we will not be able to support you in this time. I think I wanted to respond to Mheshimiwa's question. Again, he's left. But yeah, we've started looking at red sorghum. So there was an issue with the taste it gives to the final product, but our scientists have been able to work on some enzymes that can be able to work on that bitterness. So we are taking red sorghum as well, and we have a booth out there where if anyone wants information on how to grow sorghum, we have technical teams that can be able to advise you how to go about it. Thank you.
Yeah, there are some questions which have been asked. We have been tasked by the Honorable Farida to answer that, the multiple licenses. And somebody have also asked about why don't we partner with Tom Mboya University so that we can see the growth of SMEs. Somebody also have asked about us devolving the 47 counties. how are we helping the SMEs, and what are we doing about the challenges they have. So I'll answer all the questions at once. In a nutshell, it is great that we are having this conversation. The people who have just come, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry is a non-profit making organization, which was formed in 1965. And we are member-based. We are in 47 counties. And in the 47 counties, we have all our leadership. And the leadership, we are advocating for members. We are the private voice for the business, private business. We are the bridge between government and the private sector. And I can tell you that we are doing as much as we can to make sure that the SMEs are elevated from that low level to the standard which is required to do business nationally, regionally, and internationally in very different ways. Let me start. Number one, people who are fearing KRA. We have a partnership and MOU with KRA, which we've discussed with them, and it is in advanced stage. We are going to sign an MOU with them on how we can also educate and the harassment. We don't call it harassment. It becomes an harassment when you don't comply. That's when it becomes an harassment. So we have the capacity to train our people. We are going to have MOU with them very soon. And we have today, we are going to sign MOU with the Council of Governors. We've been talking to Council of Governors, and more so where the business have been affected, or we have improper laws which are not making the business to be favorable to our entrepreneurs, more so the multi-licensing you are talking about. What Honorable Ferreira didn't tell you that it is us, as Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, who have voiced that, and they are now towing the line. That is our responsibility. And let me read for you one of the functions of Chamber of Commerce: to promote, to support, or oppose legislation and ineffective bureaucratic measures that may be put in place by the government, county government, for the interest of our members. So it is one of our responsibility. It is us as Chamber of Commerce, we've made it happen. Now, we are also partnering with Tom Mboya University. We had already signed MOU 2 months ago with them because we saw that gap of research, development, and all what you've been saying. We are going to make sure that all the entrepreneurs, small businesses, micro businesses, they understand what they are doing, they know their rights, and they also access the finance. We are partnering with ILO. You can see we brought ILO to Homer Bay. So that one shows you that we are minding about your business. Not only that, we are partnering with so many state departments of the ministry. We are partnering with the international organization. What I can tell you, we are not only in the region, we are nationally, we are internationally also. Internationally, we have office in Dubai, we have office in China, we are soon opening office in New York also. And since we opened those offices, they have brought business close. So one of our function also is arbitration. When we have commercial arbitration, we do arbitrate for our people. Me as national director, if I knock any door, and I tell whoever is behind that door that I'm from Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, and this is the issue I have, and this is the issue our members have, they listen to us. What am I saying? if you are a member of Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, you are going to benefit a lot because we have the capacity. All these State Department, all these organizations, we are collaborating with them. So can you be members of Chamber of Commerce? We'll organize a very good talk to all SMEs in Homa Bay here and beyond through what he has offered, because he has offered a lot of things for the MSME, and we are going to collaborate with them. Thank you very much. I think I've answered all the questions.
Thank you. Yeah, my sister there asked whether we have training nationally. Yes, we do. However, I want to tell you a very painful story. All the people are sitting here, if not 99%, don't want their children to do programs which they are not formally employed. Most of the people sitting here, if not all, do not want their children to do agriculture. So the agriculture that you're talking about as a university for the last 10 years, we have program in agribusiness, in horticulture, and cuts across the university, Nairobi, Egerton, name them. They are dead. Because all these people here don't want their children to do agriculture. And that is what he's facing. The smallholder the MCA was asking is a very interesting story. How would you expect EBL to survive in this country with 1/8 of an acre of sorghum? So what we are encouraging people to do is to appreciate that there is business in agriculture. But there's no business in agriculture without agriculture. So we must also have people who are actually trained to do agriculture. Then you can do agribusiness. It's not vice versa. And that is the problem we are facing. Every year, currently, I'm expecting 4,500 first years to come to Tom Mboya in September. Out of that number, 1,870 wants to teach because that's where there's employment. Out of 4,000, 1,870 want to teach. 230 students who pass to go to the university. In this country, 60% have applied to do education, to teach. Then after getting a job as a teacher, now you want to farm. Then you want to farm in 1/8 of acre and have sorghum through agribusiness for EBL to come and pick. So we need to start thinking twice. Everybody here is feeling hungry, they want to eat. I don't know where they want to get that food if all of us want our children not to do agriculture. And that is a challenge that we have to take as a country. As a government, because I'm in government, we have always proposed as a university to the county government, as to the national government, let us do affirmative action for people who want to do agriculture in terms of either scholarships for undergraduate students or some percentage waiver, and the county governments who have the devolved function of agriculture should also budget for training affirmatively. Any student who wants to do agriculture, the county government can say, we are giving you 50% of the fees. Then you will have people who are doing agriculture, then agribusiness will thrive. And this is the classic case of, unfortunately, Egerton University is suffering because all agricultural courses are dead. All are dead completely. You have law, you have sociology, you have teaching, you have everything. Egerton should not have any other program apart from agriculture. But why are they doing that? For them to survive, they have to admit Tom, Dick, and Harry to go do anything. And the agricultural laboratories are dead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. I don't know what we are going to be eating in the next couple of years, or what and how, because it's also about our food systems. Justus, you want to wrap these up for us quickly?
Okay. Thank you again. I think I will go to taxation, because as the chamber, we really experience a lot on taxation. There is this compliance we are talking about, which I like saying when we are in Kakuma, the integration word is said, but we don't see integration. Compliance really in KRA is something everybody wants to be. Nobody fears to pay the taxation. But it comes a time where you work, you supply the government, and all money goes to pending bills. How will KRA work on that mathematics when that money has stayed for more than 3 to 4 years when you have not been paid? Because we have the penalties and we have other enforcement on compliance. And then again, now the same government which is imposing such penalties is the same government which have not paid you for past 3 years or 4 years. So how will the KRA handle that in terms of pending bills being kept for more than 5 years? And then now you are supposed to pay the principal amount which was there, and then you come with taxation and your penalties, and you are the one who holds the money again as the government. Then we come to county governments. Yes, we were in a training of County Licensing Act for 2024, which the president signed. But you see, double taxation still comes in again because during devolution was there, but we have acts which the government had before the devolution, which are still in existence. So we find ourselves as business community, the same acts are still moving around collecting money from or taxing the business community again. And yet we have that new bill which is already in existence. It's the counties now, Farida, to push very fast for that act to happen so that the same county governments will finance a bill to seize all the acts which were there before the devolution, so that we can safeguard the transition of this business, or we can allow good environment to the business community. I really ask the high law also to come in, because on labor issues, which if you actually assist us on those things, we cannot have difficulties at the chamber to advocate or to go ahead on with the government on double taxation on this business environment. I think that is what I just saw we are trying to divert from, and we need to give to our people, and also to have that good environment in business field. Asante sana.
Thank you so much. Please join me in appreciating our panel. I hope this has been worth your while. I always wonder at the end of a discussion, was this worth me sitting there? It's hot for the last 2 hours. So I hope there was something that you've been able to take away. And it's not just one way. I hope that some of the reflections are also something you'll take to what you do every day and think about how to improve. So thank you so much, Patience, Farida, Eric, Kenneth, Prof, and Justus, for taking your time to guide this conversation. I'm going to now hand this program back to Stephen from the Chamber of Commerce. It's been an absolute pleasure to facilitate the conversation. And yeah, you can take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Caroline. Please let's give her another round of applause for wonderful moderation. And yes, so again, to join Caroline in thanking our panelists for a very good session. We have some gifts for you. And before we do that, I would request that we kindly stand for a group photo. And Caroline, may you join them, please? And just to also acknowledge our partners, Cape Media, TV47 is here, and we are streaming. So thank you so much for the coverage. Thank you very much. May I request Caroline to remain on the stage? And we are going to hand you the first gift. Thank you so much for moderation. Director Ken, kindly present a gift to Miss Caroline. You can in the presentation. So, director will be flanked by our directors from Homa Bay. Just stand. Thank you. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. Thank you so much. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you. Tuwapigie makofi tena. Thank you very much. Asante. Asante. Thank you. And I want to really sincerely appreciate ILO. Were it not for the support, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you so much, Madam Caroline and the team for supporting the chamber to put together this side event. The next gift we are presenting to Madam Patience Njau from KRA Deputy Commissioner, and that would be done by one of our members, Mary. We also are appreciating our members. Thank you so much. All the way from Mombasa. She said that she has to be with us in Homa Bay for this great event. Thank you so much. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. And KRA again is also a very good partner. We work with them very closely on taxpayer education. And in the month of October, you know what we do with the KRA, the Taxpayers Month. So we're looking forward to organizing a forum with you in October. The next gift goes to Honorable Farida. Honorable Farida would be Director Ken, kindly present a gift to Honorable Farida. Thank you so much. Kisumu County chamber is working very closely. Actually, the chairman, Israel Agina, was here. So thank you so much, Honorable Farida, for supporting the chamber. The next gift goes to Eric Kiniti EABL. And EABL is our patron member at the chamber. We really want to thank you so much for supporting the chamber movement and being a strong member of the chamber. The gift will be presented by our Vice Chair, Homa Bay, Madam Rose Ouso, Homa Bay Chamber. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. Thank you so much. We appreciate. Thank you. And the next gift goes to our Prof. Kochola. Tomboya, we signed an MOU just 2 months ago. And the gift will be given to Tomboya by Ken himself. Ken. Thank you, Prof, for supporting and being a strong collaborator of the chamber. Thank you so much. Asante. May I request Director Malago, who is also the director in charge of finance here at the Homa Bay chapter, to come and present a gift to EABL, who is our patron member. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. So Director Malago is in charge of finance here at Homa Bay chapter. So pesa zote, the members of Homa Bay are safe. Oh, your bill has been, sorry. Just as, yes. Turkana Chamber working very closely. In fact, it's one of the leading in terms of membership. Yes. It's one of the leading counties in terms of membership. And with the refugee integration, we really appreciate and support Justas for the good work that they are doing. So we'll want to thank you so much. I think that marks the end of our side event. We want to appreciate everyone who found time to be with us. I know there was a question around technology. We are working very closely on matters technology. We have a platform called Isoko that has onboarded over 90,000 entrepreneurs across all the five countries, I mean, in the ESC. So soon we'll be in all the 8. So please go to Play Store, look for Isoko and join. So may I release our panelist? Thank you. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. Tuwapigie makofi. So thank you so much, Prof. Thank you. So on behalf of the chamber, on behalf of the members, allow me to take this opportunity to appreciate you sincerely for making time to be with us in this side event. I believe it's been worth your time. You have learned something, you have networked, you've created or you've added additional knowledge and information that you might have not gotten if you're not here. So we want to thank you and appreciate you for coming. So we end it there and also request that should you find time, our booths are there in the exhibition area. Please visit our booths. Our exhibitors are here, Madam, all the way from Siaya. We really appreciate, and please go and support our SMEs. Thank you so much and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.